So you want to stay in the loop, but let's be honest, who has time for all the fluff?
Exact.
Today, we're going straight to the source on something pretty important: how a giant like Amazon is tackling fraud and counterfeit products.
We're digging into their fifth annual brand protection report. It's written by Dharmesh Mehta. He's the VP of Worldwide Selling Partner Services over there. And it really lays out their strategy for protecting, well, everyone, customers, brands, and the legitimate sellers using the platform.
And this matters because, well, almost everyone shops online, right?
Right.
Understanding how Amazon deals with fakes gives us a window into, the bigger picture of trust and safety in e-commerce.
Definitely. It touches on issues that affect anyone buying or selling online.
So the report basically breaks it down into four main areas. We're going to talk about their proactive AI stuff, the tools they give brands, how they go after the counterfeiters, and finally, educating consumers.
Right, let's start with that first one, the proactive AI. They've put some serious money into this. Over $1 billion mentioned in the report.
Wow, $1 billion.
Yeah, and it's not just the money, it's the people, too. Thousands involved, machine learning scientists, investigators, you name it.
That scale is, well, it's huge.
Yeah.
It signals they're really committed, doesn't it? Not just a token effort.
Precisely. It allows them to build these really sophisticated AI systems designed to stop infringing products before they even get listed, ideally.
And are they actually doing that? I mean, what does the report say about how effective it is?
Well, here's a pretty striking number. They claim that over 99% of suspected infringing listings were stopped proactively by their systems.
99%. Before a brand even had to complain.
That's what the report states, stopped before the brand reported them. It suggests the AI is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
That's impressive. Almost catching everything automatically.
And there's another data point that backs this up. Since 2020, even though the number of products on Amazon has grown massively, the number of valid infringement notices filed by brands has actually dropped.
Dropped by how much?
By about 35%. So fewer brands are needing to flag problems, which, suggests the proactive measures are working better.
Okay, so the AI is getting smarter, catching more stuff up front even as the marketplace gets bigger. That 35% drop, that's significant.
It really is. It likely means they're catching not just the obvious fakes, but maybe more sophisticated attempts, too.
Interesting. So beyond the AI shield, what about tools specifically for the brands themselves? How are they empowering them?
Good question. They're offering things like the brand registry, of course, but also newer developments. Like in 2024, they launched an API for their transparency program.
An API for transparency. Okay, break that down for us. What does that mean practically?
So an API, it's basically a way for computer systems to talk to each other automatically. For brands, this means their own inventory or supply chain systems can directly connect with Amazon's transparency service.
Ah, okay. So it streamlines things. Makes it easier to enroll products or manage the system.
Exactly. It automates a lot of it. Instead of manual uploads or processes, it integrates right into their workflow. Think verifying authenticity automatically as products move through the supply chain.
Takes away some administrative headache, I imagine. And is this transparency thing catching on? What's the scale?
It seems to be. The report mentions over 2.5 billion product units have been verified using transparency codes.
2.5 billion.
Yeah, and around 88,000 brands are enrolled. That includes, big Fortune 500 names, but also smaller businesses and startups, too.
So pretty widespread adoption then. Brands clearly see value in having that extra layer of protection.
Definitely seems that way.
All right, so we have AI net and we have tools for brands. But what happens when counterfeiters still slip through? How does Amazon actually go after them?
Right, because prevention isn't always 100%. This is where their Counterfeit Crimes Unit, the CCU, comes in.
The CCU.
Well, it's a global team. They partner directly with brands and, crucially, with law enforcement agencies around the world. Their whole job is to track down and disrupt these counterfeiting operations.
So like Amazon's own detective squad for fakes.
Kind of, yeah. They investigate leads, build cases.
And are they just investigating or are they getting results? Any actions taken?
Oh, yeah. The report says that since the CCU started in 2020, they've pursued over 24,000 bad actors.
24,000. Through what means?
Both litigation, suing them, and also criminal referrals to the police or relevant authorities.
Okay, so they're using legal teeth. What about physically stopping the fake goods?
They're doing that too. In 2024 alone, the report states they identified, seized, and disposed of over 15 million counterfeit items globally.
15 million items seized in 1 year. That's a lot of fakes taken out of circulation.
A huge amount. And it's not just random seizures. They highlighted a specific case, a collaboration with Cisco.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Well, working together, the CCU and Cisco apparently managed to dismantle several counterfeit rings selling fake Cisco equipment. It shows how partnering with the affected brand can lead to, taking down entire networks, not just individual sellers.
That Cisco example really drives it home. It's not just playing whack-a-mole with listings. It's about disrupting the source.
Exactly, trying to get to the root of the problem.
Okay, so that covers the enforcement side. The last piece you mentioned was customer education. How does that fit in?
Well, Amazon seems to recognize that informed customers are another line of defense. So they're involved in initiatives to raise awareness.
Like what?
One example they gave was working with the International Trademark Association, INTA. They did something called the 2024 Unreal Campaign Challenge.
Unreal campaign.
Yeah, they got DADEA members involved, students in business and marketing programs.
Right. Yeah.
They challenged these students to create public service announcements, PSAs, about the risks and dangers of buying counterfeit goods.
Huh. That's actually a pretty clever way to do it. Get the message out through younger, creative people.
Seems like it. And the winners were recognized at a big DACO conference, giving the message even more visibility.
Nice. Any other consumer protection angles mentioned?
They also briefly touched on fighting fake reviews, which, often go hand in hand with counterfeit or scam products.
True. Fake reviews can make a dodgy product look legit.
Right. So they mentioned filing lawsuits, actually jointly with Google, against a website that was apparently selling fake reviews. So tackling that part of the ecosystem too.
Interesting. So taking action against the review brokers themselves.
Yeah, shows they're looking at different angles to protect that customer trust.
Okay, so let's sort of recap. We've got the proactive AI acting like a massive filter.
Catching things early.
Then the tools like transparency, letting brands actively protect their stuff.
Powering the brands, yeah.
Then the counterfeit crimes unit, going after the bad actors, legally and physically stopping the fakes.
The enforcement arm.
And finally, educating consumers about the risks and tackling things like fake reviews.
Right. Trying to build awareness.
So, overall, the report paints a picture of, well, significant effort and ongoing progress. They seem pretty set on this goal of driving counterfeits down to zero, even if that sounds incredibly ambitious.
It is ambitious, but the report suggests they are making headway based on their data. It's a continuous battle, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes you think, though.
Yeah.
Considering everything Amazon is doing, the money, the tech, the partnerships, what does this mean for the future of online shopping? For consumer trust in general?
Yeah, it raises big questions.
And, beyond what Amazon does, what's our role as consumers in all this? How much responsibility do we have to be vigilant about counterfeits? Something to mull over.
Definitely food for thought.
Thanks for digging into that report with us.
My pleasure.